Left arrow, traffic light. Move across like the white van. Yes, excellent. Mirrors, signal, brilliant. Nice position, continue. Slow down, be ready to stop. We don't need to stop here. We talked about this earlier. There's an island in the middle. Zara? Nope. Yay! Motorbike. So, we talked about rule number 1 of driving. If you want to make things really simple, rascality. With cars parked on both sides. This is a really good pull over and stop on the left. Okay, the examiner will ask you to edge up and leave roughly 1 car length, which is what Zara's just done. She's a good distance from the pavement. You can see that by the reference point of the pavement lining up with that left learner sign on the hood. Ooh, this was it. This was it. Well, welcome back to Mock Test Plus. This is a real driving test at Hendon Driving Test Centre with Zara. This is the first time I'm watching this. I'm going to give you all the tips and tricks along the way to help you to pass your driving test first time. This junction especially, number 1, observations. It's 10 years and running that people fail for observations. So I had one student here, very experienced, lost his license, went to take his license again. The examiner said he didn't look to the left at that junction, the very first junction on their driving test. So make sure you do your observations right, left, right at all junctions. If you can't see like that junction with the George Bush blocking your view, you don't need to stop here. I don't know why she stops here. Just turn in right, make your way to the center, turn right. Anyways, back to that junction, right, left, right. If you can't see, which means the junction's obstructed, like we said about the bush, it's very strange why she stopped there. Then you peep and creep or lean and look. So you edge out very gently until you can see, just like if you're crossing the road, like these people here. So as you're getting to the edge of the pavement, you're going to look right, left, right, because the traffic like that right, red car on the right is the most dangerous side. So we always check the right twice, mainly for motorbikes. Right, this junction's important, number 2. And this is priority signs. So not only have we got a 10-mile-an-hour speed limit there, we just saw that sign. Here on the right, which is obstructed by that vehicle that just moved away, there's a priority sign. The big arrow is the boss. That means that you can go. So the vehicle in front has to yield to us and give us priority. Now, whether they do that or they don't do that, take care, you do have priority to so proceed with caution. This is the roundabout. It doesn't look like a roundabout, junction number 3. Make sure that you have a look here where these paved sections are in the road, because it is a little bit confusing. I think that section there that we're driving over now would be regarded as a pedestrian crossing. Always yield to the pedestrians, regardless if they're in the road or on the pavement. And then we're turning right, 3rd exit. Here again, look at the signs. There's triangles there on the lamppost saying that that could be a crossing, so warning pedestrians crossing. So just be ready to check your interior mirror when you're braking to come to a stop, and be ready to slowly stop safely if any pedestrians there. Again, another pedestrian cross these sections here, especially where the triangles are. Now we're exiting Hendon Driving Test area. That's the estate that we will return to at the end of this video. There's a possibility you could do reverse bay parking at this test center, as you do have reverse bay parking facilities. That's what you saw at the beginning of this video, where we moved off with the examiner. Now there is a college here down on the right where the buses come from. This pedestrian crossing especially can be extremely busy. We're now making our way towards our first big roundabout, not the Invisibout that we had earlier in the Hendon Driving Test Centre estate. I'm assuming we're going to turn left at the roundabout, so nothing too tough, nice simple left turn. How do you do that? every single junction. Oh, we're turning right, even better. Every single junction, look at the zebra pole with the beacon on top. There is a crossing here. Again, there could be pedestrians. Be very cautious of zebra crossings at roundabouts. So how do we turn right? Interior mirror that you can see the vehicle behind. Then your right mirror, because we're turning right. We want to know what traffic's on the right. There's no roundabout traffic on the right, so we can go ahead. We're signaling right like the blue car. We're like the blue car in front with the position. So again, just to recap, that's mirrors first, interior and exterior to the direction that you're traveling. Then apply the signal second. And then finally position like we talked about here where we are with the blue car. And our right signal is still engaged. If we're going to be taking the third exit turning right, we're going to continue like the blue car. Now technically we do have priority against that black vehicle that's now following the blue car. And now we would apply the interior mirror, signal left, change direction to the left. We have gone past the third exit. Zebra crossing. Couple of pedestrians there, but not too close to the crossing. Look out for the pink kind of coloured pavement. It is called tactile pavement. You'll see it again there on the zebra crossing in the island in the middle. We did not need to give priority to that person that was using the crossing because they were on the other half of the roundabout. When we have a central reservation, like you can see in the centre of the road here, and it's marked on a pedestrian crossing, it's regarded as two separate crossings. Those islands are just safety areas for people to wait in until there is no traffic and it's safe to cross. Now, this is one complete zebra crossing, so it works differently to the one that we're just calling back to, which was the one with the island in the middle. That's two separate crossings. Let me have some coffee, please. Thank you. Okay, I'm back. Now look out for warning triangles. We've got the main road following round to the left. On this road you have 3 mini roundabouts. Look out for the signs again. Here we have another circle, roundabout. Brilliant. Observations. Remember that's the number one reason why people fail. I'm going to put that on a t-shirt. So make sure when you get, show me question. Make sure when you get to the roundabout, you do your observations. It did look a bit quick as they approached that roundabout, but I'm sure Zara did her observations there. So far, no minors, no majors. We've just completed our show me question there, which is to wash the front window. Swatching the pedestrian there at the crossing with the button. So those lights only change red if a pedestrian presses the button. Next sign here, roundabout, observations again. Very smooth driving here from Zara's, looking good. Look, see how she's flowing with the traffic. Her lane discipline looks very good as well. Obviously here we have to breach or step over that center line to avoid colliding with the parked vehicle. Here we have some pedestrians, nothing major. Road's quite wide, visibility is good, conditions are good. And here is our third and final roundabout. Where are we going? Judging by the position, turning right. We're going to go slightly straight into the middle. And then turn right when that circle disappears out of our vision of the front window. Again, just a call back to mirrors, signal, position. So we check our interior mirrors, exterior mirrors, signal, and then position according to if we're turning right, like we just did, or left. Pedestrian crossing. Oh, that pedestrian on the right was a little close, but it doesn't really look like they're going to cross. I would just exercise a bit of caution there. I'd slightly slow the vehicle down, getting ready to stop just in case. Here we are positioning left, so we're turning left. Now we're going to do our right, left, right observations. That's the minimum observations for all junctions. Must always check the right twice. Nice position towards the centre of the road here. It's safe, good visibility. We want to keep a nice gap from this van. It looked like there was a pedestrian there for some reason. Oh, there's one by the car. So it's just safe to keep that gap if we have the space. We want to use it. being in the center of the road or near the center of the road here. Keep it roughly 1 meter from the left. Left signal is on the bus. Right signal is on the bus. Slowing down, yielding to the bus. Allow the bus to move off if it's safe to do so. So this is an absolutely perfect example of that. It's almost like a hazard perception video. So really nice move there from Zara. Excellent use of speed. You know, we're driving to an appropriate speed on this kind of high street, I would call it. There are some shops up ahead. Obviously, you've got your parked vehicles, bus, pedestrian crossings. So there's quite a lot going on, even though we're just going straight. Make sure we always maintain a safe speed as well. We just talked about that. What I meant is the speed limit. So this road does have regular signposts, or lampposts, sorry, and no signs. So regular lampposts, no signs. That means it's 30 miles an hour. Quite a lot going on here. Less space, less speed, slowing down, ready for anyone to walk out around the parked cars or the bus. Got a cyclist up ahead, someone running behind us in the road. Kind of funny. Pedestrian crossings, no, don't really see any actually. Car moving off there. So, yeah, just keeping that slow speed. That really nice. Good driving. Okay, again, just keep that slow speed. High street, I would do maximum of 20. I would go no faster than 20 miles an hour on a high street like this. Up ahead, we have our traffic light. I think this is our staggered crossroads. So this is Burnt Oak. We're now coming up towards Edgware Road. Now, if I can judge this correctly, remember I haven't watched this first time. We're just going to do quite a few of these as I've got them on file. So I'm just going to rinse through them real quick. Here we're going to be turning left at the first traffic light and right at the second traffic light. So when I do my practice here with my students at Hendon, if we have enough time, I do show them this one. So it's in the correct lane there with the left arrow traffic light. Move across like the white van. Yes, excellent. Mirrors, signal, brilliant. Nice position. Continue. We've gone past the stop line. The light was still yellow. Continue. If we brake, oh, bus is signaling. Wow, quite a lot going on here, huh? Look at this. And Zara handles it all so smoothly. Can you see how she's braking like quite early? She's seeing the hazard ahead like we just had with the bus and the signal. And she's starting to apply that brake early. So it's a smoother and more safer stop. Right, here we just have the bus being a battering ram for us and pushing all the cars out the way. This is quite nice. So I would probably use that a little bit to my advantage. But Zara's doing a good job. She's keeping a safe distance like the theory test tells us. If you have a large vehicle in front, make sure you keep that gap so you can see around the vehicle and be ready to, you know, stop. Park car moving off. Bending here, but we might turn right at this junction. Okay, the next one then, let's see. Bus has got the left signal on. We may be turning right here. Okay, nice move around the bus. It's still signaling left. There we go. There's that right turn as well. So really beautiful, nice again from Zara. Mirrors, signal position. Mirrors, signal position. All right, Zara's fine. That car can move over to the other side. That's fine. She did try to attempt to stop. Probably wasn't enough room. You know what I just did, everybody? If you're still here, please give me a thumbs up. I put my hand up to say thank you to that car for stopping for us. Oh, my days. Okay, anyways, good position. Back to Zara's driving test now. Holding the centre of the road. You see that line down the middle of the road? See how it's lining up with the middle of the car? That's a reference point. So when you're in the car driver's seat, you're looking out the window and you can see references like the line in the middle of the road and it's lining up with the middle of your car. You know that's a good position to be in for those types of roads. Now, when I say those types of roads, let's say turning left. Let's say it's just a guess. Look at that. Anyways, so when we're lining up reference points, maybe not so much this road because it's a bit wider, but those type of roads that I was just referring to, it's like it's just one lane down the middle of the road with cars parked on both sides. This is a really good pullover and stop on the left. Okay, the examiner will ask you to edge up and leave roughly 1 car length, which is what Zara's just done. She's a good distance from the pavement. You can see that by the reference point of the pavement lining up with that left learner sign on the hood. Ooh, this was it. This was it. Okay, right. That's probably a serious. There could be something else coming up a bit later. I'm not sure. Not sure, but that could have been a serious. So what happened there as we moved off, you may have noticed in the rear view camera that we have a vehicle approaching. We moved out as that vehicle was approaching, and you notice the vehicle, our vehicle, came to a sudden stop. That may imply that the dual controls were used from the examiner. If that is the case, we'll find out at the end, that would have been a serious driver fault. So far, it's very hard to judge from outside the car as opposed to inside the car, but it looks like we may have just received 1 driver fault so far, and that would have been a serious for observations moving off. Okay, straight through the crossroads there. Following the road ahead. I'm sure this is going to be a long road. It does have speed bumps. Now, speed bumps don't mean it's 20 miles an hour. Here's another pullover to the left. You can use all the road, by the way. I would go to the last parking space by the silver car. So Zara's used option A, the very first spot. Option B would be the one in the middle. Option C would be the one by the silver car. No traffic coming this time. Good move off. I would go for option C. Always take the last five. Look, say you were asked to pull over and stop on the left here. Go all the way down to that white car that's parked on the left. No need to just dive bomb into the pavement. Take a long, smooth, gentle trajectory. I hope I got that word right. And just gently glide over, nice and slow, and stop on the left. Use your reference points if you need them, like here. What I would do in this situation is just look at the right pole, super slow, and with the right pole on my right side as I'm looking out the window, I can judge that with my right mirror and have a look at the gap between the right mirror and the pole, and just gently, baby crawling speed, crawl towards the width restrictions and gently edge my way out. That is the easiest way, and the easiest way also to judge the distance with your car. If you just look at the right side's easier to see, easier to judge. Take it really slow. You won't need to concern yourself with the left side of the car at all. So you want a few inches between your mirror and the pole on the right side, and then you do not need to worry about the left side at all. If you start driving vans and buses and stuff like that, it's completely different, but just a regular vehicle, that will be the best and easiest way to make your way through a width restriction. Here we're probably turning right. Excellent early positioning. The car on the right moves out. Shouldn't have done that, but anyways, there you go. Nice point of turn, moving into the left side of the road, not turning too early and going into oncoming traffic. Nice speed there. Zara went round the parked car. It's very gentle, making it easy to change your direction back to being straight. Otherwise, we might accelerate and go diagonal and into the oncoming traffic. That's especially difficult or important when you're in a manual car. So make sure, again, rule number 1 of driving, less space, less speed. Not much happening here. Warning triangle. Speed bump. Could be 20 miles an hour if it's a big speed bump. A little bit big. Any signs telling us a speed limit? If there are regular lampposts and no speed signs, what's the speed limit? Now, a lot of people fail here. Pay attention, turning right, take the next road on the right. Nope. Yay! Motorbike, I wouldn't have gone then. 1, we went into oncoming road traffic. 2, when we positioned for the correct point of turn into this road, we moved out in front of the motorbike. So that, again, could be a serious driver fault. We'll find out at the end. What I'll do at the end is I will just have a little... don't know how to phrase this. Look at my notes. There you go. Look at my notes. And give you the full ins and outs, whether we had majors, minors, and I'll give you the official results at the end. But just judging by my own estimate, that'd be 2. What do you say? If you agree, put it down in the comments. While you're there, why don't you hit that subscribe button? It's absolutely free. 80% of the viewers are not subscribed. I'm playing that violin for you right now. Alright, pedestrian there. Anyone behind us? Nice speed. Plenty of distance. Very safe. Moving out gently. Nice. Again, nice speed. There you go. Very safe. You see that, right? So, see the... let's call it the narrow point. So what I mean by the narrow point is, look, there's just one car on the left here. The examiners might ask you to pull over on the yellow line, by the way. That's fine. If they give you that instruction, you can do that. Let's have a look at the parked car up ahead. So it's only one parked car, and there's an oncoming vehicle. Is there enough room for us to fit between that parked car and the oncoming vehicle? Let's have a look. What do you reckon? That's quite a small car. Possibly. If we're not sure, just go super slow, baby call it speed. Let's judge it here. Possibly, yeah? If we go slow enough. Let's have another look here. Good approaching speed. You see? Just nice and gentle, having a good look. Trying to move out a bit early, like this, how we are out already. So then that oncoming traffic can see our position from that lorry that we just passed. And judge us and give us extra room if they can. So it's another good situation because we're stepping over that center line into the oncoming traffic. So we have to be very cautious because we do not have priority. That's a good assessment from Zara. So look, I'm not sure. It does look a little bit narrow. It's a maybe. We're not going to do it. We're just going to position into the space, but just stop before we get there. Wait for the oncoming traffic to exit that narrow point, we called it, and then we can continue. Now, a similar situation here, but we've got a van reversing and another oncoming van, making it incredibly narrow there. So good again, the speeds. This is all about the speed. Less space, less speed, rule number 1. We have road markings and signs here. We're back towards a test center, I think. I think this is quite close to the test center. So we must only turn left here. Do we need to signal left? Let's say yes, because these pedestrians here would benefit, even though we've got road markings and signs telling us we can only go that way. It's just nice because pedestrians can see it, like the pedestrians on our left here. They're looking at the car, they see the signal, then they know we're definitely going that way. So back to the roundabout. I'm assuming, let me see, third exit turning right. We could go straight back to the test center. That'd be quite a short test if we did. We haven't done our maneuver. Oh, we're going back to the test center. Okay, so this is the college bit that we talked about at the beginning as we came out of the test center. We talked about these zebra crossings being extremely busy. The college is just there on the left by the Sainsbury's. This vehicle's pulled over. I think they signalled, which is quite nice. Good distance. Now, we're going to come back into the test centre, which is turning right. Again, here's the pedestrian crossing with the island. We're turning right here at this modern-looking round building where the sign is. Oh, okay. Never mind. Goodbye, test centre. This road is incredibly long, by the way. This is the road that takes you to Mill Hill Driving Test Centre. Interesting. Okay, I didn't know that they used this road. This is it. I'm learning with you guys. This is excellent. So as you can see, the museum behind us there. And we've got signs here, pedestrian zones. You see those signs up there on the lamppost with the cameras in the circle? Someone doing the yoga. Just while walking backwards. It's an interesting move. Why are we here? What on earth is going on this driving test? Are you for real? Okay, alright, cool. We're gonna do a maneuver here? Wow, that was an incredibly narrow road. Now there's a high chance, because it's a two-way road, that when you go around that bend that we can see in the rear view mirror now, into that very narrow section, which is what we were all just talking about, the narrow points, there could be a vehicle coming. So, we talked about rule number 1 of driving. If you want to make things really simple, Rascalatian. My guy honestly had no idea we were there. His friend kind of helped him out there, which was nice. Alright, well done from Zara there. Good defensive driving as we had a pedestrian walking out into the road. And they're talking about the narrow points. So, rule number 1 of driving, say it with me, less space, less speed. Right, now rule number 2 of driving, less see, less speed. So what that means is that narrow point, that bend, we can't see around it. So I'll be going like 1 mile an hour. Being ready for Pierre to come around the corner at 50 miles an hour and try to take me out. So no, seriously, just take it super, super slow when you cannot see. In case of any narrow bends, any narrow roads that we're turning into, any of these tight places that you can't see around, slow down, be ready to stop. We don't need to stop here. We talked about this earlier. There's an island in the middle. Zara, I know you're being nice, but that, if there was a vehicle behind us, could be a serious driver fault. So I'm counting 3 so far. I'm being harsh. A lot of people say I'm too harsh. So 3 serious driver faults so far. So number 1, move off. Number 2, moving in front of the motorbike there, where we're turning right. And also she did get confused with the sign there. So let's put the traffic sign, yeah? Because there was a no entry sign there, which she got confused with, and then she moved across and out and across again in front of the motorbike. Number 3 was just now. Can you help me remember? Oh God, rewind. Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. What's number 3? Put it in the comments. It will come back to me in a second. Anyways, this road is really long. I don't know why we're going this way. If you can see the buildings coming up there on the left, if you just continue a little bit past those buildings, what on earth are we doing now? I'm going to bust a right turn here and come back towards the test centre. This is something I would do. Okay, it's fine. Whatever, cool. This works. We're going back to the test centre. Brilliant, thank you. No complaints. Number 3, what was number 3? So we had the move off, stopped. We had the traffic signs, no entry, moved out in front of the motorbike. Well done with this white car. Nice position here. Guys, if you have been here the whole way through this, make sure you do hit that like button. And please do me a favour. What was number 3? Oh, I've got another 3 more of these videos to go, ladies and gentlemen, so wish me luck. We'll recap. Okay, we must be coming back to the test centre there. So again, I was talking about this modern looking building here on the left. It's blue. You'll start to see it come into frame now. Where the vehicle's moved out on the left, we're going to turn left now back into the test centre. Thank you very much. Again, look out for the triangles here, pedestrian on the right. Yeah, alright, you don't want to cross. Fair enough, buddy. But well done, Zara. So just in case the pedestrian did want to cross, she was ready. The pedestrian did look like they were definitely going to walk out there. So again, just taking caution. It was nice and safe, smooth, steady. Stop. Turning left here at the roundabout. That doesn't really look like a roundabout. Again, we've got these little marked out patches here in the road that kind of imply, like the triangles earlier, that they could be pedestrian crossings. Oncoming traffic has priority here. This sign, which is slightly visible, it's very small. It's a white sign right in the middle of the camera at the moment where the green bush is. So Zara's doing a decent job. She's left enough room here for the traffic to get through. Now it's very hard to see this white sign by the green bush. And the white sign, it tells us that we have to stop and give. Ooh. Oh, that's number 4. Number 4, we had to give priority. I put my hand up again to the TV. I said thank you to the car. I can't believe it. I wonder how many more times I'm going to do that. We're going to be turning left again, 10 miles an hour here. Oh, what? He didn't look like he was going to walk out in the road. His back was kind of turned around, wasn't it? I don't know. He did walk out in the road. Okay, fair enough. All right, nice position here for turning left. Quite a lot of people around today. There's not usually that many pedestrians. I guess because it's kind of sunny. And then turning left again. Now, we haven't done our maneuver, so we're going to do our maneuver now. This would be the reverse bay park because they have their own car park here, so they'll do reverse bay park. If your driving test centre doesn't have reverse bay parking or bay parking, you will not be asked to do it. So just for the public car parking spaces like supermarkets, etc., you'll only be asked to do the forwards bay park. So it's quite important that you know that, so that when you go to take your driving test, you'll know if your driving test centre has their own car park. If they do, you could do exactly what we're doing now, which is the reverse bay park. If they don't, then you will not be asked to do this. So I'm just watching that other car there. It doesn't look like they're moving. It's good that we've got the reverse camera on here because it looks like we're a little bit in the middle of 2 lanes or 2 bays. That's fine. We can do exactly what Zara's done. So you can use all the space that you've got to move forwards and correct the position of your vehicle. Zara is a very good driver. We have obviously had our real driving test experience here. If you've joined us the whole way through this journey, then you can see how nerve-wracking it could be. We had quite a lot happening there on that one. So if you remember all 4, put them in the comments. If someone's so kind, why don't you go ahead and timestamp them? I've seen a few people doing that. That's very helpful. Okay, is that us done? I think we're done. All right, guys. So